Okay, so I'm currently sitting on the balcony of the Heights Hotel in Cairns. There's a TV over there, there's people coming and going, there's the mall and traffic, so hopefully my microphone is doing okay. Um, in this session, I'm a little bit late, trying to make this a weekly reflection or vlog. But it's been a big week, and we just landed in Cairns this afternoon, so I've been thinking of anyway, what I wanted to talk about, I guess one of the reflections I wanted to talk about, I've been thinking a lot about, and it's pretty, I don't know, it's not anything groundbreaking, but it's just kind of weird. No, it's not weird, it's just one of those things that I think a lot about, only because I do a lot of it in my work. It's about travel, and so I just wanted to talk a little bit about travel and the confusion that I make, the hard work I give myself, because one of the things that I do is that I actually am not a really big traveller. I don't think I am the kind of person who really needs to get away from Brisbane or Everton Park, or I do a lot of travelling, I think, and exploration just in my local friends and the people that I meet and my community and the internet, and I'm pretty relaxed. But because I have to travel a lot for work, or at the moment I'm traveling a lot for work, it's one of the things that really occupies my mind. In the last week I was home all week. This week I'm in Cairns all week. Last week I was home, but the week before that I was in TI. The week before that I was in Lockhart. The week before that I was in, I don't know, driving through southeast Queensland. The week before that I was in Longreach. The week before that I was in, I don't know, somewhere else. But it's kind of funny, like, because I've got this thing where I'm trying to really, there've been a few times in the past where I've overpacked, so I'm really trying to do the whole minimalist thing. So, you know, wearing the same clothes over and over again. And I'm not much of a clothes horse. I have a lot of clothes, but that's usually because I go up and down in sizes, and I have different moods. I'm a real moody dresser. Anyway, so, and I'm not a clothes horse. I'm not interested in, I wear basically 1,000 different types of t-shirts and jeans and pants. So I've got the same style I've had since I was 18, I think, pretty much. Just slightly changed. The 90s are back. I should have just, if I had to stay the same size, it'd be fine. But anyway, so I'm trying to minimize everything and really travel light, which of course in this whole sort of travel chaos world is a good idea, because I don't want to have a lot of luggage. I really love walking into the airport, onto the plane, and off the plane and back off to where I'm going. So I really like that. But the problem with minimalism when you're packing is that, and the problem with minimalism and when you're traveling all the time, is that there's little things that make you remember that you're actually not home. And when you want to be home, that makes life harder. And it's the gamest things, like the other day I have a aversion to long nails. I don't like looking at them, and I don't like having them. So I'm a real short nails person, which is irrelevant, but I needed to chop my nails. And I'd forgotten to do it before I left, and I didn't have a set of nail clippers. And it was like, do I buy another set of nail clippers? There's about 1,000 nail clippers at home. But it's those little things that remind you, I'm traveling. And so because I want to minimize the amount I take, I find that I take enough to survive, or enough to get through the trip and then back home again. So there's trips like that where you're just like, I just got to take enough to get me through and get me back. And then there's other trips where you can be much more relaxed. Like this week I'm relaxed because we're in a hotel in the middle of the city, so we don't have a car, but Woolies is across the road, Cairns Central is just there. And so it doesn't feel like, I did only bring a small suitcase, a carry-on suitcase. It doesn't feel quite, and my backpack, which is my office, doesn't feel like there wasn't a massive sense of urgency about it. So it's just that. It makes me funny. It just feels like when you travel for work all the time, having little things make it feel a lot less like travel. So I try to take my tea with me, a strainer and that kind of thing. So and I take my own soap, not because I have a special soap. I think about wasting soap. So I take my own soap, and then I don't use the soap in the hotel because I want to keep using the one that I've got. That sort of thing, you know. But anyway, there was that. And I guess the other thing was, I think that the thing that annoys me about traveling for work is, and I don't know if this is a good thing because I can look at it from two ways. I feel like I waste a lot of time because I'm sitting in airports. That's a huge time suck. And then it makes me, you know, you always kind of, I'll do that when I get home, and it just means that it's the same version of you spend the whole week in meetings, and then you have to actually do the work that you said you would do as a result of the meetings. So it's like you've got the meetings, you can't fill your whole week up with meetings because you've actually got to do the work from the meeting. And it's the same with travel. Like, you can travel, but then you've got all this work that you've got to do as if you were home, and then you have to find some time to do that. And some of it you can do in an airport, but sometimes it's just like, you know. Or the other way to approach it, when I'm having a good day, I approach it as nothing I can do, I'm just going to relax and just kind of be here. So it's kind of like, it's a weird thing, travel. I like going to new places because they're interesting, but I don't have I'm not driven to travel. It's not my, like, I enjoy when I go. Like, oh, that's really cool. It does get lonely sometimes, I think. I do like traveling with somebody. That's fun, because then you get to share the experience. I do like that. I like traveling with another person or with people. I'm not so much of a solo traveller, which I think is probably an interesting challenge, because given that I've never really been a solo person, I moved out of my parents' home with my boyfriend, who became my husband, and then we had 4 kids, and so it's kind of like I've never lived alone, never been alone for a long period of time, which I think is interesting. I don't know if I like it or I don't, because I only ever travel for work, so I don't travel for pleasure. Yeah. So that's my little reflection. Just thinking about travel this week, and then hopefully after this week, I'm home for I'm home for 2 weeks, and then I'm actually on the road and heading up to Laura Dance Festival. So that'll be different. That may be a solo trip, but it'll be a driving trip, not a plane trip. And I will be, I'm really looking forward to that one. So hopefully I'll get to talk about that one later on. So that's my reflection for this week. That's my 3rd vlog. This is the 3rd week. It's not really the 3rd week, it's more than 3 weeks, but let's pretend it's the 3rd week of the being 54 on our way to mid-50s. whatever this is about. Yeah.